Lionsgate basically announcing that they're doing a 180 for TikTok fan editors. They're basically going to hire them instead of fighting them. So um, this is like really cool, right? Because I mean, I see them all the time. Just kind of like they're called fan casts. You have like where they're, creators are creating TikToks using popular pop music, really popular right now, all like Taylor Swift songs, and putting together like plot points or like summaries about like shows and like movies and stuff, and then posting that onto like TikTok, and they get like, millions of views. There was one fan edit of Creed that hit 195 million views, and boosted streaming numbers by 29%, which is wild to like think about. So Lionsgate has just started hiring those people instead of, calling copyright infringement and getting the videos taken down. They've reached out to 150 creators and built an elite team of 15 of them. This is letting them create their authentic style, instead of forcing, corporate guidelines. A couple other examples are the Hunger Games fan edits, which I've seen all over like my Twitter, and it got me to like reread and like watch the movies again. And then also Twilight. So Twilight has had 40 plus fan edits, which have sparked the theatrical re-release, which is pretty cool. Lionsgate has seen the popularity of them on TikTok, and it's just been like, whoa, like maybe we just try to re-release the movie again. And so they're starting to like recognize that like fandoms will actually get you more views. And I wanted to highlight something that like I just saw recently, this past week. So for One Battle After Another, someone had posted Leo doing what he called like the Mexican whistle, right? And that there was like a couple of tweets that ended up getting like millions and millions of views, and then like they got taken down for like copyright infringement. And then Variety had just posted that article saying that they needed to reach $300 million in order to like get back the money that they had put into the movie. And my biggest thing was like, why, when like people are finding out about this movie and like could potentially see it, would you force them to take it down when you're wanting people to go watch the movie? And it's like their whole thing of like not wanting to have other creators making, putting out basically what's IP, into onto the internet, for me has never made sense, because you're not putting the whole movie out there, right? You're just doing snippets, and that's what's getting you attention. um so the fact that Lionsgate is like, you're right. If you can't, fight them, join them, like, not just join them, but hire them to come onto our team and like create that, fan created content, is like a brilliant idea, I think. And then, another thing to think about here is like how many of us want to create, user generated content from like anything, right? So it's like the fact that these companies are essentially, biting the hand that feeds, right? With like these creators that like are creating amazing content in like I've seen, the way that it gets edited, and, it's very creative. Anyway, point is like they're creating this like brilliant content that most companies would like kill for like their users to be creating for them. And instead you have like movie studios fighting against them because it's not done legally. Yeah. Have you seen these the fan edits?
Well, yes and no. I mean, I guess yes. Like I
Mhm.
have been seeing a lot more Twilight ones. So that
No,
kind
yeah.
of explains why.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so that's really funny. I do think it's super interesting, right? Because this is one of those things where users, they've been finding their own workaround anyway. So
Hmm.
now it's, the publisher, right, or the studio being like, all right, they're gonna do it. We might as well like have them
Hmm.
do it in a way that we can try to best position ourselves for
Right.
success. Yeah, so I think it's super interesting. I think it's smart. And yeah, I mean, like, look, people are gonna do this anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. It reminds me of our conversation with Caitlin Reese and the Spurs, right? Where it's like she's like, well, we have the in-house team like that does this, and we're fighting against our like users and our fans, and like, Bleacher Report and, Barstool Sports and all those other companies that are creating their own edits, right? Um And, like, what she said is, like, "It's made us have to be better, like, do things faster, think about the way that we're, doing it, whether it's worth, this play versus another play." Um, so it's, like, made them have to be more creative about how they're doing their own work, which I think is, like, great for everybody, for for the whole ecosystem, right? It's like we're learning new ways of, like, doing things. The fans still get to, like, participate and feel as if they're part of the fandom and that they're being, welcomed into it and not just, like, being spurned because, like, "Oh, you're not doing it properly," you know? And so it's also a cool way of rewarding, like, the most creative and, like, brilliantly created, content pieces, because those are the ones that are obviously go viral, right? Like, if you're able to create content that goes viral, like, clearly you're doing something right, because it's getting that attention. So, good on them for, like, finally acknowledging that and not just, like, taking the stuff down because it wasn't created by their own team, you know?
Yeah, totally. That's a good callback.